Welcome back to ELIMU Nguvu, and thank you very much for keeping it here at KUTV. Do remember to give us your feedback, especially on our social media platforms. Our Twitter handle is at elimuni_nguvu, and our Facebook fan page is ELIMU Nguvu. Now join me as we talk to Mr. Matthews Mwoki, who is a talent and also a senior lecturer of sculpturing within the Kenyatta University, as he takes us through the details of the course as an art and also the evolution of sculpturing over time.
Thank you so much for inviting me to the show. My name is Matthews Mwoki. I teach sculpture, painting, drawing in Kenyatta University. The first time I opened my eyes, I developed interest in drawing, and the art has always been with me. I only developed it in the course of learning in school, but I've always been an artist. I was born one. I suffered a lot when I was in primary school. I remember I would look at my book and draw things there, and my teacher, who did not know whether there was anything in me, tore my ears and pinched, and I suffered a lot. Yes, until fine art was introduced, in drawing was introduced in the primary school where I was, because of myself. Actually, they brought it to me to punish me. They told me, because you're always drawing, we'll give you a plain book, so that, and you must finish it within one week. It couldn't last a day. I drew everything. Lucky enough, when I got to high school, Machakos Boys, I found there was fine art, and it was very well established. I was very happy. In fact, I wanted to be a doctor, alongside drawing and painting and all that artistic. Yes, and I was not poor. I was disappointed when I was given arts, and after Form 4, instead of sciences, I wanted to be a doctor. Yes, much as I am an artist, I also loved biology and sciences. I was given arts, I wanted the sciences, but I was in the arts stream. There were two streams of 5. The arts and the sciences. So I was given the arts. I struggled to get back. In fact, I had to involve my father. But they said, no, he's good with this, he's good in French, he's good in fine art, he's good. So we know he's going to pass. So thing that needed me passing and joining the university. That's the reason why I joined fine arts stream. I joined Nairobi University. Yes. Well, John Dad started there, but this was Kenyatta University. Then it was a college. It used to be called KUC that time, a college. We only had one university in Kenya. That was Nairobi University. And Kenyatta University College was a college which offered education. In Nairobi University, I was offered to take BA, which was a less professional course. And after some time consulting with friends, they told me you better take B.Ed in fine art, which is a more professional course. That's the reason why I came to. After 3 months, I joined Kenyatta University College. Those days you could move freely. It's not like these days. Yes. Then I joined here and I pursued. I found there was sculpture, there was painting, there was all disciplines of fine art. And I said, this is what I've been missing. So the animal in me, or the artist in me, was let loose. And I went for a cure. Yes, I did everything in pertaining fine art. And that was introductory courses. We did everything. Then second year, we specialized. I took painting, graphic arts and sculpture. Those were the main courses. But after my graduation, I specialized in sculpture. That's the reason why I'm teaching it right now. Sculpture is making of 3D or 2D representative art forms. in a selected material. 3D means freestanding, you can walk around it. 2D means it's one-dimensional sculpture, almost like a painting, but you use the material as relief. Yes, so there are two types. Yes, sculpture embraces a lot of materials, but they are divided into two groups. The traditional ones, which are traditionally used by traditional people, which would include wood and stone and animal parts like ivory. The other ones we call the modern or contemporary parts, which are material, which will involve cement, plaster, metal. Metal pores in both in traditional and also in contemporary. And plaster, even clay. Clay is also traditional. Yeah, so there are quite a number of materials involving even light, use of light, the thing we call hologram, which is projection of light and it forms 3D something, and you can turn it around. Yes, so we have contemporary materials and we have traditional materials. Yes. Sculpture as a whole is the existing form of art. Right from the time people, you can talk about, did not write. You know, the sculpture by itself assists on features, assists on vocabulary. You know, and so right from the beginning, it was associated with worship, adoration, storage of spiritual powers or forces, gods and all that. And that one was either carved or modeled. Now, lately, in the process of time, other materials have come into use, and they are processes at the same time. Yeah, so the process of growth and development is one now makes it almost an elastic kind of plastic, elastic kind of art, acquiring more materials, more processes, more meaning. Yes, for example, now we live in built environments. Depending on what you put where, it acquires that stature, you know, being in environmental sculpture. So it upgrades and it relates to building and architecture. Yes, so we have a lot of other values coming into sculpture, which were not traditional there. So that is the evolution of sculpture. It has grown in material, processes, use, and nature and character. Of course, the character, the values have changed with human beings. We cannot say we are static. And as things change, of course, it has got to be elastic to accommodate new values. And some of the things can also become extinct. But that has not to be so. The monuments we used to make, and by the way, monuments are not necessarily big. A monument is simply grand, it's noble. It's the value invested in stuff that makes it a monument. It may be a small thing, but noble or grand. Yeah, so from those areas, those times when we used to create representations of our gods and values and the clans and other things, we now at the moment can do commemoration sculpture like we have in Jomo Kenyatta here. We have done it in Kimathi, just around ourselves here. Yes, those are commemorating things. So up to now, the momentum the sculpture picked in the course of history, it's not possible to lose it. It continues growing with us as we grow into this. It becomes even more interactive because it's like if you are going to make a man here and you make, right, I come from Lokambani, and I just make a man, he will be still understood as a man in Norway. There's no way you can make a mistake and say this is something else, simply because we make Lokambani. So it translates cultural English, becomes very interactive. So we value it. It's a pleasure for you to hear Jomo Kenyatta. Much as you try to imagine how he was, but when you see him in drawing, you cannot touch it, you cannot interact with that. But when you come across an imposing monument of Jomo Kenyatta, you feel like walking and touching it. Yeah, that's beautiful, that's superb. You to interact with the three-dimensional Jomo Kenyatta. Yeah, we kind of immortalize him. The moment you take away the people's language, ways of self-expression, you actually turn them into dependence on something else. And that's the reason why we have gone on to become very weak in our cultures and our cultural values, even in our institutions. So because we have continued to lose what was tradition and culture ourselves. So we need to restore that. In case anybody can wake up and realize what is being done by not, valuing or promoting what's ours. They need to do that in no time. We need to recover very quickly. So please restore teaching of fine art in school. Restore teaching of sculpture. Monuments are always there, and they carry our history. even landforms like mountains and hills and rivers. If you remove the mountains which you knew in your location, will you know your home? You will never, certainly. Yes, so something happening which are very, very dangerous to us. For example, they call me Matthews, but I don't know who's Matthews. My name is Moki. Now, when I become Moki, I know my home and I know my people, and I know the values that I'm supposed to carry. But the moment you give me a different language, now you're speaking English. I don't know how we got here. Now, if we don't speak in our language that we understand one another, we value, we become estranged and alienated, and we become poor citizens, poor locals, and our values and our heroes and our models are elsewhere else, and that's the reason why we're weak. Yeah, so please recapture what was ours, restore, and add value to it. Let us carry on. So anybody that's taking fine art from school or weakening this and that and talking negatively about it, it's a show of great ignorance. Art production, whatever form of art you're talking about, is a language. It has a vocabulary. It has principles and rules. So when you remove it, for sure, you cut back that person. They cannot express themselves. And there's something missing. How will you like it to live in a world without art? Can you imagine a world without art? Can you imagine a world without music? And who is that to really weaken it? You need to value that. And you see, the more you do, for example, sculpture, the more you begin to learn what is within your environment, stones and materials and all that, and you attach values to what trees produce this material, which areas produce this kind of rock. You also become environmentally literate in a way, and you preserve it, and you use local materials. But at the moment, you begin to have values in other things, and you don't know the local rock on the local plant or the local clay. Sometimes we are doing a sculpture in clay, and if my mother came and found me playing around with the clay, she wondered, did I pay school fees for you to come and play with clay? I even become so redundant, retarded. And so there's that kind of stuff. So we have to change our value. I don't know where she will have gotten that from, because it has not been consistent. Yeah, but you can imagine clay, that's where we get everything. Man lives out of the earth. The houses, everything that you do, including the clothing we wear, all materials come from the earth. So the earth is very important. Yeah, and if you cannot put value in the products of the earth, then where are you going? And there are some things that if you don't do them in primary school, for example, banana prints or potato printing, even mixing clay, if you don't do them in primary school, you cannot start them again in the university. Yes, some of these, you're starting them again in the university. It means you cannot have enough time to cover what we think is art. Yeah. So again, you kind of shorten the experience that you're supposed to acquire through art. Yeah, because there are some things which you skipped and which you're supposed to have, so you cannot cover the syllabus well. Yes, so some things are ignored. Of course, sculpture gets its value from the society, and so you have to study social, cultural, religious, whatever values for you to make a relevant sculpture. So one of the things that I tell my students is that you've got to understand your society, the clientele, the people you're tailoring this to. You cannot stand up and begin to speak in sheng among people that don't understand you. And much as you may produce something abstract or realistic, make sure that you communicate. And what are you communicating? You have to understand the cultural origins of the values that you're going to store in your sculpture. So you must understand your society. And it's not just making a sculpture or making a drawing. What is it that you're doing? You're making a drawing of what? A man doing what? Expressing what? Mood, temperament, suffering, pain, happiness, strength, fame. All those things are the values that you put in a sculptural form. Yeah, so you've got to understand the history of people, what they cherish, what they go by, for you to make something very relevant. So you must understand the society and the consumer. We have almost everything. History of fine art. History of fine art encompasses a lot of anthropology and architecture and religion. It's a wide area. That's history of fine art. And we have ceramics, which now talks about making utilities. We have textiles, the clothing that we wear. And we have graphic art, we have animation, we have multimedia crafts, you know, all those things. We have drawing, which is a core unit. You know, without drawing, you cannot plan for any form of fine art. Yeah, so those are about what we teach in fine art. Yes. And fine art is a talent, and you have to be talented, and you have to have passed with that. Can you produce fine artworks? That's one of the things. In fact, initially we wanted to become a school ourselves, because there are some people, just like you did initially, who may not pass in mathematics and chemistry and other things, but they are good artists. And they may not even speak English, but they're very good with artwork. If we became a school, we get those people and improve on them. So the first requirement is that you have to be an artist. You have to have the capability of being taught and trained and to produce artworks.